Hello friends, this is Aganea, and we are continuing our Lemuria beginners play, if you will, with a few friends. So let's jump right into it with turn 6, so still working on expansion. So, still creating Centurions, as doing, had some people die, but let's jump in to see how the fight went in the water. Usually not having to worry too much about priests and water, but with these Tritons, this should be very clean up with these ghosts. Again, try the Centurions, take that first hit. Ghosts come in, already routing. This is wonderful by turn 3 or 9. Yep. And Centurions did take a few hits, but they are looking good. So it looks like we lost a few ghosts there, like probably 2 or 3. But 2. So, but no issues overall taking that water province. It's good. So, and we got some earth gems out of it, so that's a win-win right there. Since we're still not site searching at all, I'll take everything we have. So, what are we going to do with the army? Well, on the west side of Lemuria, we're looking to see we could move them up more in water, but I really want to take on this land provinces. And we see Atlantis to our west and Abyssia to our southwest here. So, I would we have these two options trying to capture land: deer tribe versus crossbows and heavy infantry. These crossbows can light us up, hoping to get some friendly fire in, but I don't want to be too close to Atlantis but start looking at negotiations as a whole there. But uh, taking this off, I think it will be fairly good. We're going to be close to the front, get them to hit that crossbow fire as well, and rush in. With our next army, we're hitting to the west is the army we just created. So taking those two Centurions that we have here, not a lot of free spawn. Still, Dominion's still a bit low, but we're going to do with what we have, and this seems like a very easy province to take. So we'll probably stop looking at a lot of the fights if they are roughly the same. And then on the right side, or eastern side of Utgard, we see Utgard bringing in troops. We're worried about this. We went ahead and defended it. We had 3 Centurions here. We left all of our ghosts in free spawn with 1, hoping it can defend, and move up the other 2 to take in water. And we're bringing in, like I said, more. So we also, on the income perspective, we did not have enough to start another fort. So this is really tragic as well. So this fort's up in 2 months. We want to get a temple there as soon as it pops. So bringing in one of our priests over, moving it over to build a temple. And we have a scout ready to go as well, but just not enough. We're not going to, I don't think we'll have enough for next month either. Even if we took all these provinces, we'll probably still be under. But I want to hope. Forts are priority. Want to make sure we're defensive around Lemuria, but wanted to be ready for that temple as well. Still wanted to defend it. Still not site searching, still not researching whopping 0 still, and making some mercenaries to keep helping out. So, I think we're making another spy here. Yes, we are. Just in case, like, let's say we take this land, there's no spy available, we can move it over and be ready as well. But I don't think we're buying anything else trying to save that income, not even being able to do mercenaries if we can. We are quite low in the treasury. So let's defend. And for the attack here, last thing to talk about this round, that is Shamblers. We're not bringing a large army, but I really think these 2 Centurions will be able to be fine with, even if there are more Shamblers than what we're scouting at, which scouting is always problematic. They should be fine. Shamblers don't have a lot of defense protection, even though with their 2 attacks, our defense skills should be fine. So, let's go ahead and pop the next turn, turn 7. And look at some of these attacks. So, yeah, so here, no issues whatsoever from the fights. It's very clean with the heavy militia. Again, Shamblers, what we were just talking about. We'll look at this, but it seems like it went very handily over. keeping them on bodyguard just in case there's shenanigans. We could have been up front, but not an issue either way. I doubt these. Yeah, these Shamblers are just going to melt to the Centurion tile. Were they even hit? Nope, they were not. So, very clean fight there. And lastly, we did lose some. Looks like those crossmen put a heavy piece into the Ghost, losing about a third of our army with this attack. Maybe it wasn't wise to put the I was hoping the crossbow would be more friendly fire, but maybe they... Yeah, that volley of crossbow is just destroying these Ghosts. How did Centurions do? 21, 25, yep. Oof. And we get there, route them. Alright. Well, Ghosts don't stay for long, but it wasn't too bad. So in Dagger, got some gems. Never bad sign. I will trade 1 gold for these gems all the time. Oh, we were already talking about a bad income. Losing Green Harbor, our big province that we just claimed. Yeah, I did not think we'll have the income. So we did start building a palisade here. Here's a scout that's moving over to be ready for our next one. But yeah, not enough to build a temple here. So, but it should be up in 1 turn, and hopefully can make a temple next turn. So let's again move from west to east. I am not sure about this play now. Looking at this, Atlantis being here, not wanting to provoke aggressions. I'm still worried about them, even though I am in heat scales and trying to get dominions up. I'm not sure about taking this on. We could have easily moved south into Abyssia territory, but looks like we're pulling 3 Centurions into these diatribe. That should not be a problem at all. And then the 1 Centurion with our Centurions from the cap. Going to south, plenty of Ghosts as well to take on this. This should be a very easy province as well for us. On the impeding problem. Looking again, we're moving a spy over to be ready to fort. What are we doing in Lemuria? Well, we have no reason to build temples. So still spawning shadows here. These Centurions we talked about, and now we are done with Centurions. About around turn 7, I decided to stop, growing some death gems up, and move on. Like mentioned previously, with death gems, you get 1 per temple. Right now we still haven't been able to make a temple yet, capped by your Dominion strength. So right with also the 9 gems turn, we're getting 10 a turn, but starting to do that site searching. Now, I think this is a mistake. I should have researched. I think my thought was as well, I need units, need ghosts, but it's 13 research, and even though it's not a ton, it's a lot more than 0. So, hindsight, I would probably have him researching. The spirits, the shadows themselves are not going to do a ton by themselves. Still need that ghost free spawn for kills. I do think this was a mistake, or start site searching on a different site as well. But, and then lastly, for this one, this palisade has been built. Utgard pulled troops back, so I am good to move this Centurion with help out with the Water Nation and hit Drongor. So, not a lot of support here coming into it, but it should be enough to take on crossbow and light infantry with 30 Centurions, so I don't see that being a problem either. So let's go ahead and jump to turn 8 as we will move on and see what comes next. Alright, turn 8. The first battle where we had a priest in it, but even with those 3 Centurions going to be completely fine. We put them up front to help with that heavy calf. I'm just going to show this battle with the priest. Trying to soak up those banishaments, not to make sure to hit the ghost, because they're going to melt much faster than the Centurions are, and we're routing them, so not a problem. And these other fights should be fine. I say that, and this our forces were beaten. This is shocking, so let's see what happened here. It looks like HP route, 3 Centurions. Um, what happened in this little peninsula area? Oh, the Centurion. This is a terrible scripting job. Must have kept them on hold for a priest, but didn't match the army. So what we already can kind of see fate on the wall. These ghosts are going to go up with these shadows. They're going to get killed by this crossbow fire. Centurions come in. They're still there, but all the attacks, yep. So starting to rout. All the ghosts have routed. We have the Centurions left, and probably one of these gets popped by a crossbow. One, yep, right there. So they just got peppered. This should have been a victory, but lesson learned. Always look at scripts. That's just sad. So thankfully, all retreated successfully. So it would have been terrible if we had lost these Centurions as well. That could have been a very critical mistake. And I assume, yeah, they all routed to Dagor to the side. So we failed here. I bet we learned our lesson. Yep, removed hold and just rushing those crossbowmen down. But costly mistake there. And then lastly, very good win with the Deer Tribe with those 3 Centurions. Yeah, just cleaned up. So Dagor got death gems. Can never have enough death gems as Lemuria. And our first fort is up. So I actually need to look and see if they spawn first before the fort, because it sure looks like that. I would expect a ghost there, but we'll be checking next turn. So moving here, we see Utgard getting more into place. Being careful with that fort there. And we have our ghost stockpiling here with no one to lead them. That's fine. Oh, you see I did take it off. So stopped calling spirits, started researching as well. So starting a site search. Still not enough money for a temple, but we have a palisade going up and a palisade going up. So we are getting our first few palisades around the Lemuria capital, the soul gate of the world, but really need a temple here. So getting our priest into place, and we have another one to move as well. With this 3 months, a priest will need to be coming here next turn, and then here the turn after. Looks like we're bringing a scout in to start scouting out Atlantis and see how they're expanding. It's turn 8, and we're coming across Abyssia. So we have our main 2 neighbors here, with the third one in the southeast, or west, east, ooh, and Atlantis in the top. So what are our other expansions? Still trying to clean up around. So we're moving the 3 Centurions down here. Very easy province. This will be a cakewalk. Honestly, so many ghosts. Wish we could pull these off to another one. This 3 Centurions as well. Cakewalk with these. So I don't see maybe even any losses with those 2. But a bump with Abyssia could be problematic. So wanting to bring in enough Centurions to be able to defend that force, and we're hitting this one again. So we have those 3 parties going out. It's turn 8. We are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Doing well with an expansion as a nation. We could have been pushing it more. We had this regretful bump here, but overall, the worst thing is just that income. We have enough ready to go and just can't build. But we started researching, so we will take it. Let's jump up to turn 9 and see if we got any messages as well. Nope, but there has to be a bump. So let's go ahead and hit them in order. Lost 1 ghost here. Lost a shadow here. That was the one that we fell previously. Completely crushing it this time, as expected. So Abyssia. Abyssia is one of those indie provinces. Thankfully, they hit it first. So Axaros, heavy entries. Let's go ahead and see if we get any information about their units here. It does not look like, no, haven't brought anyone to bless. So, and then let's view the battle that we had. So we have our 3 Centurions up front, row of Ghost of Fire right behind them, and then to melee. So Abyssea are going to have good defense for was that say human, I believe, low protection, but yeah, and basically heavy infantry looking like, and then they have what are these units? They're axe throwers, so throwing axes, non-magical, should be fine. So yeah, just a bunch of heavy infantry for the most part. So the Centurion's coming in. This is looking good for Lemuria at this point. Yeah, it's starting to rout already. The morale's tanking with those 3 Centurions with their Fear Aura, and then surrounding and done. So 3 Ghosts taking off one of their expansion parties. Not bad at all. Glad we brought in those 3 Centurions to each of those as well. We have a worldwide event, luck and growth. Well, we have 3 luck and already, and the growth does nothing. And we have more heroes. So this would be a turn to look at our heroes, but let's go ahead as we have been going from west to east. So Elantris, still not seeing any expansions from their cap here. They may be weaker than initially thinking. Not really looking to press it, especially during winter, into Atlantis. So I think I was pulling my scout back to build a fort, but I'm really curious what to go looking at, and Abyssea's cap here. So provinced up, but not looking to stay here. Again, we are pulling back to protect this land and moving over to expand here, so we'll have to get here. But Jotunheim is definitely getting ready to do something. They are putting on our forces, not really enjoying. I increased the defense here, increased palisade. This is something I would probably not do as a player. I would definitely have more forces with this many units around it. Should be bringing in someone to defend that land. Here, finally building that temple. We searched. Did we? Yeah. No sites. So we're moving to keep searching. We have this palisade, as mentioned. With 2 turns to go, we want to get a priest there. So moving a priest to be ready. And we got a 3rd mage. So again, 3 spawns of commanders in our first year. 2 priests, 1 mage. Fantastic. So getting another researcher. Our research just doubled to a whopping 26. So building palisades, moving. So again, it looks like the plan is to sweep in here. We still have not hit these thrones. Yeah, scouting reports show a lot of amounts of infantry there. Not looking to push into it. Really want to get my infrastructure up before that first year is done. So going to keep exploring the ocean. One thing I have seen as I've moved later in Lemuria is you cannot build forts underwater, but water, because of the Dominion pushing into, and it's harder to push in Dominion into water than on land from a land nation, is with how the candles forward. Water is really seen like a treasure trove. Like, you love water provinces because you can siphon gold, but you're usually not killing it. So wanting to claim at least some of these water provinces near, can't really defend them, but wanting to grab them as I can. Especially if Atlantis, they may have been pushing west as well themselves, but we're not seeing a lot of motion on their eastern front. So, but yeah, these Jotunheim, or not Jotunheim, Utgard is really worrying me with how much they're bringing in and compiling at our border. So, still not bringing Centurions, like I said, saving up that gold, hoping when the Pretender comes along we can start making some lemurs and what is it? Is it consuls? I'm trying to remember the name of them. Yeah, the consuls as well, and getting them ready for our first war. But overall, good. Let's get one more turn in, and we'll get to turn 10. But before that, is there buying any more scouts? Just want to do a check. Doesn't look like I'm purchasing any scouts. Oh, and while we're looking at land nations, haven't really seen any indie mages that are available that we have. Nope. I think it was this prophet. we were able to get crossbows, but with our lack of income, not looking to stockpile anything yet. So yeah, no, not purchasing any units. Crossbows up here as well, uh, as we're just trying to save everything for infrastructure. Let's jump to turn 10 now. So on, oh, one thing I had in my notes in turn 9 is apparently Atlantis and Agartha offered a nap 3, but Atlantis denied it. So not sure. That means I'm thinking that their expansion maybe is going well, or maybe they're looking to it and they're just not expanding east. But I was surprised to see they did not actually pursue the nap. Um, Look to see if something spicy is going on in a part of the world cannot see. So let's hit our battles. Clean victory here with 3 Centurions. Not really surprised going in the ocean. And then 1 Ghost with those 3 Centurions here. Wishing we had more armies to split these up. That's really overkill taking these 2 provinces. We should have been able to take a third, but planned poorly with where the Ghosts are. So let's look at our events. Big amount of water gems. Amazing. We'll love to see that. And misfortune unrest. So boar eater, we're just going to say has a boar underwater. Just killing with that unrest. That income that was over 100 gold just a few turns ago is now pittance. So let's, as always, start here. So Atlantis did expand. We're seeing them and reaching out this turn for a nap, I believe. Yep, message to be sent. So we're reaching out to Atlantis to talk about a nap. Not looking to start a war with them because Utgard have been really worried about what's happening over here. Don't want to start a war on both fronts. So we'll see what they come back with there. I pulled most of my troops up off this side. So as we mentioned, all these ghosts are expanding. 2 Centurions, this will be easy for them to take. And here's 3 as well. So not a lot of ghosts. Wanted to keep reinforcing it with them, and this is plenty. So kind of splitting those armies well. Haven't seen Abyssia to expand north either. So keeping White Birth and probably be taking over this land if they're not claiming it. And now we meet another nation, Gath. So Gath, I missed them earlier. Gath is down here in the corner. So we have roughly 3 nations on the north, middle, and southern tip of this land, and us beside guard as well. So we'll be checking to see what Gath is expanding. On our infrastructure and movements, coming back down Great Province, we're just keeping this ocean as we come across it. Here we should be starting to see, some ghosts spawn. We've got a fort and templed up there. So now with that extra temple, we're getting 2 death gems more instead of 1. Building a palisade temple here, perfect. That's what I want to see, inserting this province. So as soon as that palisade is going up, we're going to have a temple, and this one is in 2 months. So moving this priest over here to take care of it. And here was that I mentioned, or I did not mention. He broke away from the formation to go back and pick up ghosts. So it looks like being ready for over here. This is a good time to check out what our bonuses are, our hero abilities. So magic resistance, that's fine, good. Not going to complain about it. Your disease, so you may not be long for this world, and my construction is not high enough to get a shroud. Nor strength would have been really nice as to keep, unfortunate. And then we have defense, wonderful. Can't go wrong with defense either, and more magic resistance. Checking the ocean. Love more hit points and defense skill. Can't complain either. The hit points are going to be really good as well. We took Undead Regen, and so we'll be looking to shroud them. But the reason why I'm looking at these abilities and seeing because these are going to be my commanders for that first war. I'm really looking at Utgard right now if Atlantis will sign a nap, because A, we're close proximity, B, though, worry me with this, and I'm already starting some infrastructure here. I'd be willing to pull back from the south side and bring into Utgard. So, but and then we have a scout here being ready in case we wanted to ford up, depending on what Atlantis says. If they say they're not agreeing to a nap, I'm not going to move forward with this. Looking for them to target me, especially it's wintertime. I don't want to waste this money when I can be fording up others. But this should be at least the surrounding area should be protected. But we're approaching 30 minutes, and we'll go ahead and stop there. So again, thank you for watching. We'll continue with the first year as we continue with Lemuria. Thanks and have a great day.